In today's video, we talk about how the boiled egg diet can help you lose 22 pounds in 2 weeks.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and today's video comes to you from another question that I got asked. I did a video a while back on the military diet, and when I did the military diet video, I was not familiar with it. I had to do a little research. Someone asked me about it. I started looking into it, and the term military diet got me really interested because of the connotation of being associated with the military, which has its own distinctions. So when I got asked about the boiled egg diet, some red alarms went off immediately. And so I'm gonna review kind of what the boiled egg diet is, and then talk about how you might actually have an extreme amount of weight loss associated with undertaking this diet. So first of all, let's talk about what makes a diet successful. When a person decides to get on a weight loss plan or a fat loss plan and they start a diet, if they believe that it's going to get them extreme results, then they're capable of sticking with it, okay? When we don't believe that something's going to work, we're more likely to graze and eat off plan. So sometimes just the name of a plan, it can inspire consistency. It can inspire the individual to stick to something that they wouldn't normally be able to do. That's what I think is happening with those people that I've seen report crazy results. I went online and started looking this up with the boiled egg diet. Unlike the military diet, the boiled egg diet doesn't claim that there's any magical properties associated with eggs per se. But I still wanted to look into it. I still looked it up. And so I'll put the numbers on the screen for you here for what you're actually getting. So when it comes to fat loss, losing an extreme amount of weight. Now, I would say losing 20 pounds in 2 weeks is an extreme amount of weight. So much so that it can't possibly all be body fat. In fact, I doubt most of it is. So let's talk about the mechanics of weight loss. There's two different things at play here: weight loss and fat loss. For most of us that undertake a Western type diet, we eat plenty of carbohydrates, plenty of fat, plenty of sodium. And so what that does is it stores carbohydrates in our bodies, in our muscle cells. And carbohydrates, by nature, the name carbohydrate, they're stored with water. That water creates weight. However, this is good weight. If you are an athlete, if you are lifting weights, if you're doing any type of activity, this is going to be used as fuel when you move, train, perform, whatever it is that you're doing. When we reduce the carbohydrates, the glycogen that's stored in the body, we can see a crazy amount of weight dropped. But for some people, that's the wrong kind of weight. Most people, when they hear the term weight loss, they associate it with fat loss. So I wanted to clear that up right now because I'm going to explain why it's probably possible to see 20 pounds of weight loss in 2 weeks, but it's not 20 pounds of fat loss. You'll also see something very similar when people do a cleanse. Okay, so this diet that I saw, and I'll post it up here for you, I looked it up in several places and it seemed to be pretty consistent. It was 3 meals. The first meal was 2 hard-boiled eggs and some fruit. The second meal didn't have any hard-boiled eggs. It was just fruit and bread. And then the third meal was a piece of chicken and again some fruit or a salad, right? So it's pretty consistent. Now, when I punched those numbers in for the day, it was under 900 calories, 870. And I tried to find high calorie options. Like one of the salads I used was a Caesar salad, right? So I tried to fill it up with as much calories as possible within those 3. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with tracking your calories, your diet, 870 calories is pretty low, right? Now, maybe not for some people who are very petite and don't eat a lot, but for those of us that are active, 870 calories would be extremely low. In fact, I eat that in one meal sometimes, okay? Now granted, I eat with a very purpose. I compete in bodybuilding and powerlifting, and I lift weights, and I chase my 3-year-old around. I'm very active, so I don't expect everyone to eat the calories that I eat on a given day. But still, 870 calories, very low. And beyond that, the carbohydrates are very low for the day. So what does that mean? That means that we are going to see a great reduction in the amount of fluids that are held in our body. So for 2 weeks, if you follow this diet, depending on what your normal calorie intake is, you will see some reduction in weight, probably some reduction in body fat, right? Now, what goes along with jumping into a diet plan? If I tell myself I want to lose some weight and I jump into a diet, I might also start being a little more active, start paying attention. Maybe I take the stairs. Maybe I park farther away from the grocery store. Maybe I start taking some walks or just doing some things that are healthy. This would also help with the weight loss associated with the boiled egg diet. Now, the boiled egg diet, that name, I think it triggers something. When you hear a phrase and then the word diet, there's an association between that food, whether it be the citrus diet, right, or the military diet, or whatever it is associated, there's something associated there that triggers, that's what's going to be successful. And I feel this is what's helping people with this diet. Because if you eat 800 or so calories a day for 2 weeks straight, you are likely to see a very, very aggressive drop in body weight and perhaps a little bit of body fat. And that's not where my issue lies. At the end of the day, if you can be successful on a diet and get your weight down, that's great. We do not have a weight loss problem. We have a weight regain problem. People every year are able to diet successfully, lose hundreds of pounds. The problem is what happens. So let me explain a little bit of the science behind weight loss and fat loss in your body. You see, when you take in fewer calories and you increase your activity, your metabolism, which is all the chemical processes that are happening in your body, it adjusts. It adjusts so that it becomes more efficient at storing calories, okay? It becomes more efficient at not burning calories. It becomes more efficient in making sure you survive. So when you undertake these ultra low calorie diets, I've even seen diets under 500 calories, this is where our real issue becomes, because after several weeks, or maybe you keep this up for a month or 2 months or 3 months or longer, your metabolic rate has adapted to this very low calorie approach, right? So what do you do when the boiled egg diet is over? Do you go back to your normal diet? If you do, you're going to see rapid body fat regain. And something we often see in the fitness community is body fat overshooting, where your once set point for body fat has now been shot past, and your maintenance for body fat is actually higher. There's a lot of reasons behind this. I'm not going to get into the science. It has to do with fat cells and fat cell size. But the bottom line is you dieted all this weight off, and now you're heavier than when you started the plan. Was it a successful diet? I say no. Instead, if you're going to follow a diet like this, learn to track your calories, learn to track your macronutrients. Plug it in. It literally took me 1 minute to plug it into MyFitnessPal, this entire diet. And I figured out that it was 870 calories. So what do you do when the diet's over? Well, if you want to switch out foods, learn to switch out foods, but still stay within calorie range, right? Adding calories slowly each week. I would say 50 calories a week. So if you're on 870 calories, then next week maybe you're on 920 calories. But keep those calories in range, even if you're not just eating the boiled egg diet. This is what I want to reiterate, okay? I do not believe in diets that have a name. I am a coach and I coach lots of people, but I do not put people on a diet plan based on its name, okay? Now, I'm not opposed to anything that's going to help people be successful. I just want to help enlighten and educate so people can understand more. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I will try to cover them in future video topics. For now, just understanding what the mechanism is with the boiled egg diet. Ultra low calories, low carbohydrates, a lot of water weight lost, right? Perhaps some body fat because you're eating so many so fewer calories than you were previously, and you're able to stick to it consistently because psychologically you believe it's going to work. What do we do after? That's what matters. All right, guys, this is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All by myself.